Congratulations on your victory. It's a really good fight. You look sharp, you look ready, you look precise. Have you had a chance to watch the fight back, and what did you like about what you did out there?
Yeah, we watched it once, and I was happy. I thought it was a great performance. I think I showed a little bit of everything: offense, defense, movement. I was fighting on the inside, I was fighting on the outside, speed, and a lot of beautiful combinations. I was really letting a lot of combinations go. So,
do you feel like this was a fight that really garnered you even more national attention? Obviously, you're the champion, but this has gotten a lot of eyes. People are becoming more and more familiar with your name, fighting on Fox. Do you feel like this fight elevated you in terms of eyes of the public?
Definitely. I'm not where I want to be, only 20 fights in, but I definitely think it was a big step in the right direction. We had 1.8 million views. That's a real high number. And I don't know if you can see from the TV, but the turnout was great. A lot of people showed up. A lot of people showed support. And even more so, the energy was crazy in the building. So I'm super happy.
It looked fantastic. You can tell from TV that Nashville came deep to see the fight. It was very, very full in there. A lot of fighters say there's additional pressure when you fight at home because there's more people that who want access to you, just want to see you. Did you find that to be the case with yourself?
I changed my number before I got to town, my phone number. So that way, just a few people had it. That way I wouldn't have any outside distractions. We stayed at a separate hotel, and you got to focus on the task at hand, and that's what we did.
What does a fight like this do for a city like Nashville that's not known to be a hotbed? It's known for the music, but I'm sure there are tons of young boys and girls who watched the fight and thought, wow, I could be like that too, coming out of Nashville. So what does that do for the community, the boxing community there?
I think it does wonders. Like you said, there's a lot of people out there who hopefully they can see me and say, man, he's from here. If he can do it, I can do it too. And definitely, like you said, a whole lot of support. And I think we found a new market. So, we'll be going back and doing it big again.
How often would you want to do something like that? Because, the turnout was great. It reminded me of a Crawford fight in Omaha. And, Pacquiao comes to Vegas, second home. Like, how often would you like to, stay in that market?
I'm trying to become one of the few faces of boxing, so we got to tap other markets, we got to go to other places and be on other cards. I'll be headlining, but be at other venues in other states, continue to build my brand and market my brand, but we'll definitely be going back, and so probably sometime next year.
With being the 168-pound champion, IBF champion, there's a lot being said out there about you, about fighting, about Canelo, about other people in the division. What is true and what is not true?
So on my post-fight press conference, I was asked by Marcos that, he said, Canelo still doesn't have an opponent for May. Is that something you'd be interested in? And Canelo and his team haven't even sent an offer to us. So I don't know how all that kind of came about. They was just asking if I would be willing, someone, and I said no, I would not, because it's in May. We're halfway through February. That means I'd have to go right back into training camp, and I'm gonna let my body rest. And not because, like I said, not because the fight I took a lot of punishment, but because of all the work that goes into training camp. And for those who don't understand that, it's probably because they never overtrained a day in their life. They don't know what it's like to be a level at this caliber, So you got to let the body rest, recoup, and I don't see Canelo jumping in that quick again. He fights in May and September. There's a reason for that, and I know that fighters used to fight more frequently back in the day, but everybody was doing it. So then it's an even playing field. But they stopped doing it, right? There may be a reason for that.
Right.
So I'm no dummy. I've been in this sport for a long time. I know how this sport works. I know the ins and outs. And I'm not going to be pressured or bullied into a fight simply because maybe the money has been more than I've ever fought for. Because I am a 7-figure fighter. Make no mistake about it. So I'm not in this just for the money, though. I'm not just someone who, I have to have this amount where I price myself out, because it's not all about the money with me. If it was, I'd be jumping on this opportunity. But I'm going to become a I'm becoming and will be a superstar and a face in the sport. And you don't do that by rushing into stuff. I didn't rush my way here. So
Why do you think you were, it was almost like you were singled out. There are other 168-pound champions. Was it just kind of capitalizing on your momentum at that moment? Why do you think you were singled out?
I had a fantastic night. You know, we had, like we said earlier, 1.8 million views. The whole city came out. The performance was spectacular. So this was just kind of like a way for them to turn something that I did good and kind of, you know, try and put a rain cloud over. But you can't put no rain cloud over what I've done. The views, my purse, the city that came out. He was ranked number 3 in the world in the IBF. That's the belt that we fought for. Number 1 and 2 are vacant. He was my mandatory, and I did what I was supposed to do in spectacular fashion. So I'm happy. Anyone who really knows boxing knows how all this works, and the people who don't, you know, they don't matter. So
taking yourself out of the equation, and on the outside looking in at the 168 division, how would you mix and match it? What matchups are intriguing to you, or not even just champions, just within the division period?
Well, just to be specific, you know, we want to make a unification fight with David Benavidez. That's my number 1 go-to. That's what I want, and I think that's the fight that's easiest made. But he's got to fight, I think, Lonnie Thompson, and then he's got a mandatory after with Yildirim. So that's all booked up. Everyone knows Canelo. I don't even know why they're saying that about me, because they sent no offer to us, and he's going to fight Billy Joe. And then after that, he said he wants to fight in Japan, which means he's going to fight Murata. So that's booked up too. So me and my team, we sent out an offer to Callum Smith to try to make a unification fight. So we'll wait and we'll see what happens with that. If nothing becomes of that, it's not our fault. We're trying to make a fight. And we also reached out to Triple G's team too, and we made an offer to them as well. So I'm trying to make fights happen.
Yeah, they said he has an injury now, like a calf injury or something like that. Triple G.
Oh.
And that the fight they were discussing might be in jeopardy because he has his injury or fight is off. I read something about it earlier.
Well,
Canelo had a calf injury like that before in the past when he was supposed to fight James Kirkland. He had a calf injury. Now Triple G has a calf injury.
I don't know. I think he's fighting sometime in the summer though. So we'll see. But we reached out to him, trying to make some fights happen. So.
All right. Sir, a pleasure.
Thank you.
Continued success.